Good morning. Good morning. In honor of today's conversation, which is the way to success laid bare, the success formula laid bare. I want to tell you something about success. This friend of mine, Rex, wanted to start a glass coffin business. What do you think?
I see right through that deal.
Remains to be seen.
There you go.
Roll that. Welcome to the Daily Huddle. Today's Friday. My good friend, business partner, and co-founder of the Daily Huddle is here with me, Giovanni Gonzalez. Thank you for being here. And on Fridays, we discuss all things business and leadership. The intention is to leave you equipped with the mindset, the fortitude, everything you need to lead your businesses, lead your teams, lead your life, and lead your communities. So let's get ready and grounded. Good morning, Rashida. What time is it and who will you be hugging today?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, my family Daily Huddle. And the time is now, right now. Where am I? This is the time in my life. And who I'm going to hug today, I'm going to hug my granddaughter. It's our last day with me, spending time with me. And I'm going to hug one of my church sister and my church brother that I'm at the church right now. And my four-legged German Shepherd.
Oh my God, that German Shepherd's getting a lot of love.
Yes.
And if you happen to go outside, hug a tree for me.
Oh, no, I did hug my tree when I walked this morning at 7 o'clock this morning. Yes, I do hug my tree. Yes, yes, yes.
Awesome, Rashida. Thank you so much for bringing so much light to this conversation. Your listening makes every word we say possible, and it makes every word matter. Thank you for being here. My good friend and co-host, Mr. Chase Steele Gray. Where are you and what are you grateful for, sir?
Grand day, grand day. I am right here in the now, right here, present. And today I am grateful for forgiveness.
Thank you. Thank you, Chase. Perhaps forgiveness is our only job. Imagine what life could be like.
Excellent.
If we all went around forgiving all the time. Thank you, Chase. Thank you and welcome, Mary Campbell. How are you?
I am the way I say I am. And this morning I am brilliant and present and delighted to be here. Mwah.
This is who you say you are. And you get to be that as long as you say and honor your say. So thank you for being here, everyone. We've got a phenomenal conversation with our friend, Mr. Rex Sikes. And Rex is the author, as you may already know, of a book entitled Life on Your Terms. And in the world where life is lived on your terms, you may be living not the default life that you ended up with, but the life that you create and stand for. Rex is the author of that book. And inside of that book, tons and tons of chapters anchored in precisely that. Rex, thank you for your generosity. Thank you for your willingness to share your wisdom, your experience. And thank you for having done all the work that it took to be able to say what you say, how you say it, and how spontaneously it rolls off your tongue. It's always a pleasure to be in conversation with you.
It is so wonderful to be with you, and wow, what a beautiful entry into our discussion together, and to be surrounded by such positive and powerful and wonderful, optimistic people who are movers and shakers in the world. You know, you can never ask for better than that, really, is to be surrounded by people who are helping make the world better, not only for themselves, but for the people around them. And whether we're together, you know, in physical person, or whether we get to be together on online, it doesn't matter. There's no distance in the universe that you know, we only think there is, but that's the human thing. Otherwise, everything is present and everything is now. I mean,
Everything is here.
yeah,
So
very
we've
good.
got a number of entrepreneurs, business owners, family members, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers listening, and they're on the edge of their seats, waiting for what you say about the success formula laid bare. And before you dive into that, I think people in general, Rex, have their own definition of what success is. And to actually be plotting and writing and sharing the success formula, I think it demands we pause for a moment and say, from your perspective, Rex, what is success?
Wow, great question. Yeah, I'm going to answer it this way. Unlike how I might have otherwise answered it, I think it's with what you said earlier, that forgiveness might be everything. Because if we can forgive ourselves and forgive others and forgive the world and forgive all of these other things, and we open ourselves up to just the ability to be open without the limitations of the hurts and the pain and the suffering or whatever we've acquired or accumulated or continue to perpetuate, dropping all of that, letting it go. And because forgive means to turn away from a mistake, you know, not to make the same mistake twice. It means to, you know, or to repent means to turn away, but to forgive means that you're open for any other possibility. So I think if you're really successful, you're open for all possibilities. And that oftentimes starts with the letting go of what because if you consider that almost everything we do is a product of our thinking, you know, of our saying, you know, it's an illusion. And the illusion is that we suffer, and the illusion is that we're separate, and the illusion is that we're not all part of one immense, incredible, beautiful thing. And we don't have words for it. I mean, I say a thing, it's like people talk about the universe. There is no the universe.
So
We are universe. Everything is universe. It's
Yeah.
eternally present and eternally here and now, and can't be otherwise, but we think it is. And that's the beauty of consciousness.
So from your perspective, inside of this definition of success, one might be listening to you and say, well, Rex, that sounds really philosophical and good and deep, but I'm in business and I really want to be successful. So from the perspective of a business owner who's willing, you know, it begins with the willingness to look that way. How would a business owner translate what you just said to apply it directly to the plans they have now, the actions they're taking now, the dreams they have for their businesses? So how would you begin to lay out the success formula for a business owner?
Right. Well, it's again, you know, that's a beautiful proposition that you make, and I think it's true. I mean, you know, it's accurate to say that people think in terms of success as my business is making a certain amount of money, or there's a cash flow and there's a profit. I'm living a certain kind of lifestyle. You know, I feel certain ways about myself. I think, you know, it's important to have, you know, this amount of time, this amount of money, this amount of leisure, this amount of acquiring, you know, whatever. But going right back to what I said is that if you forgive and let go of the things that are holding you back, you are open to so much more. Most people think too small, not too big.
So pause for a moment there. As a business owner, what could I be forgiven?
You forgive yourself for whatever it is that has held you back for whatever you've done that you might have done to harm yourself or another person. You just let go of it. I mean, in other words, you let go of everything that Buddha said, every day is a new day and every day you're born again. Now, the only reason why we don't experience that is because our brain works to keep us consistent. Our brain continually, it wires things in and does the same things over and over again habitually. And that's a good thing. It's a wonderful thing. Otherwise, we'd wake up one day not knowing where we were or who we are or what was going on, or, you know, we wouldn't have the life that we do. At the same time, any of the things that we consider detriments or limitations, which I don't think of as detriments, they're actually gifts that help us move forward. People don't think of hardship as something that is a gift to get us to grow, but it truly is. Now, we can call that a reframe and say, well, it's really a hardship, but if you think of it differently, then it can be, well, then who cares, right? I mean, if what you do with mentally helps you get through things better, helps you acquire more of what you want, helps you become the person that you'd like to be, it doesn't matter whether it's real or if it's a fiction, whether it's a reframe or whatever. The point is that most people don't have a true appreciation of who they are and of what they can accomplish and of how incredible that each of us is. I mean, we are infinite possibilities and infinite opportunities and infinite resources, and we use just a tiny sliver of it. So if we can get out of our own way just a little bit, that opens us up to so much more. And as a business person, don't you want to be opened up to greater possibilities and greater opportunities and greater resources? Because the resources are all around us. And if you can't notice them, how are you going to take advantage of them or the opportunities or the possibilities? And if you don't think something is possible, you're not even probably even going to try it.
So let's take a specific scenario. And I'd like to connect it to your life and business and your life as a business owner yourself, your journey. So perhaps it was a contract that you were vying for that didn't pan out. You didn't get the business, client acquisition, right? Perhaps it's a project, an endeavor you were on, and it didn't go so well. Like the requirements of the client weren't met the way they wanted to. They ended up being dissatisfied in some way. Or perhaps it was a job you took that you didn't charge enough for. And you did it anyway, begrudgingly. And what you delivered, you weren't pleased with. I don't know, I'm speculating. But in moments like that, when you're right, it's hardship. It's quote unquote, not succeeding, not working well. How do you go about it? And what can we learn from your life?
Wow. Okay, great question. And I've done all those things. You know, I've had all of it. I've had all,
I have too.
yeah, exactly. I mean, and still do sometimes. I mean, so let me answer from my background as an actor. All my life, I've been agented and managed. Essentially, I'm a puppet. They go here and do this, and I go do it. And I love that. I love it. I'm not the business guy. I'm not the owner. I'm not the marketer. I'm not nothing. I'm the product that they're saying, go do this. So as an actor, as a young actor, all I wanted to do was act. So when the weekend came along, I was pissed because I couldn't pursue my movie career during that time. Holidays came about, you know, or a summer hiatus in the film. I didn't know what to do because all I wanted to do was act. And someone said, well, if you really loved acting, you'd be acting in the desert. And I go, but I'm not that kind of an actor. I want to be an actor, a famous actor in movies. So there's what you can do to pursue a career and what you don't know that you could do to pursue a career. And so I kept going, I want to act, I want to act, I want to act. And when I wasn't acting, I thought, well, it's the gatekeepers, it's the casting directors that won't give me the chance to come in, because if they let me come in and show whom I am, well, then obviously they would hire me at some point. And so sometimes, you know, the auditions were very rare. Sometimes they were more plentiful. Sometimes I went in and I just blew it. I was, you know, out of my league in terms of doing it. Other times I went in, I did a decent job, didn't get the thing. And I would get angry and I would get upset and I would go, the world is against me. The casting director is against me. All I want to do is act. What the heck is wrong with it? So I spent many years working like that until, you know, I had my crisis and things that I talk about in the book. But what I eventually realized was, yes, I want to act and I can do other things. So I'm going to give you an example of a friend of mine who said, I realize that all actors' careers are bell curves. They go up one side, they get to the top of their career, and then they go down the other side. That's just a normal, for most people, you know, that's one way of thinking about it. He said, I don't want to come down the other side so readily. So what could I do? So he decided he would make himself invaluable to the industry by becoming a historian and writing a bunch of books. And he loves Westerns. And so it was about Westerns. He became truly a person whose reputation is now based on being an expert in authentic period pieces. So if a movie came to him and said, is this the right gun or the right saddle or the right costume or whatever, he could say, no, it's not. Here's what you need to do. But then he started to collect all this stuff, guns and bottles, I mean, prop guns and guttles and saddles and horses, and even people to be extras. He has a movie ranch, and he developed himself into a one-stop shop for the movie industry so that if anybody has any needs, he can supply it. And with every job that he takes, and they film on his ranch all the time, or he, you know, puts things out to the different places, he requires that he get at least one day as an actor in his film, in their film or TV series. So he's constantly acting, he's constantly working, he's far more successful than he would have ever been as an actor. And he's a recognizable actor that you would see in the movies. And you might not know his name, but you would go, oh, I know that guy. Oh, I know that part. You know, but what he did was he went outside the box of the thinking of, I just want to act. I just have to have fame. I just want to do this. And pursuing the normal avenues, he said, how do I make myself indispensable to an industry? That's what people, when I say forgive, people don't think, what can I do outside of my own limitations to make myself more valuable to the people or to help more people in more ways? We never will. We'll just always feel, you know, always function from the mindset that we have until we don't have that mindset anymore.
So pause for a moment. So in this case, to forgive as a business owner is actually to put aside what I've done, my failures, whatever it is, just put that aside. And at the moment I put it aside, the possibility of something else emerges, whatever that is. So
if I'm wearing these clothes right now, I have to take them off to put something else on. Otherwise, I just keep putting on layer after layer after layer until I get so layered up I couldn't move. And that's what's happened with most of us. We have so many layers of things that we want or hope or dream or disappointments or things that we're mad at or you know, perceptions about the world, that if we just take them off and get free from them for a little bit, we can see other possibilities that we otherwise could not see. Whether we call it forgiveness, because some people will have a, oh my God, this is like a religious context or forgiveness.
yeah.
You know, it's not. It's about letting go and being willing to say, I can step outside of who I was or what I did or what I thought and become something new each day that is open to possibility and opportunity and resources, and then move in that direction.
I got it. And let's say we wanted to wrap it up in a neat little bow now and actually lay bare the success formula. What would you say? And it's
Well, let me ask you this.
half.
What did I say the success formula was? Do you recall?
No, I don't.
Oh, well, then we have no further discussion because I don't know what it is.
I got it. I got it. So let's open it up for questions and begin by bringing my good friend Giovanni in the mix. Gio, what are you listening for? What are you hearing? What do you want to say, brother?
Oh, so this is so great, right? Hey, Rex.
Mhm.
Giovanni, hello, my friend.
Look what I got.
He can actually turn to the chapter and look it up.
Which I missed it. I missed the part of the chapter, but I wanted to ask something.
Yeah.
Or I wanted to check in with you guys and see if I'm present to the conversation or where the direction of the conversation. And if I'm not, then I'm distracted because Mary Campbell is here and I'm really happy to see her. So it's not my fault, okay? So in my fear of looking like a fool for not being present to what you guys are saying, I'm going to pass through that fear. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. Is the access to success, I think you guys were saying, the access to living your life on your terms, the access to success. My access to success is to discover forgiveness in my life, like discover forgiveness everywhere, not only the common way of looking at forgiveness, which is, oh, you did something to me, then I'm going to forgive you. But no, everywhere, like forgiveness in the context of, I wish life would have gone in that direction, I can forgive that. Or I wish I looked differently, I can forgive that. And I'm bringing all the emotions to forgiveness or acceptance, infusion of between forgiveness and acceptance is my access to having a cool life or living my life on my terms. Am I in the right direction, or I'm like?
Let me say this. The reason why everybody will have their own definition, their own conception of what they think I mean, or what forgiveness is. And
But am I in the right direction or not? Not really.
Well, I mean, we're always in the right direction, even if we're not going in the right direction. I mean, where else could you be?
I like that. I like that answer. But Rex, but don't be so smart.
Let me put
Wait, Rex. I just want to know, and I love that you say you're always in the right direction. I love that. That's kind of what a Sorrel thing would say. but no. But am I grabbing the conversation, or am I off?
Yeah, no. I mean, again, it goes back to whatever your definition is what it is for you, and it may or may not apply to someone else. So to that extent, it's absolutely perfect, because we all come to what we come to at the time that we come to it. You can't push a rope. You can't be 10 steps ahead of yourself. You can only be where you are. And so if that's how you understand something, fantastic. Now, if you stop there, you might miss out on other things. But if you're open, because of that, you're open to other things, then you can discover all sorts of other things. So let me answer this in a simple way that hopefully most people will get it.
Okay, ask me, but I do want to ask something.
Okay. Well, let me say this. I'm going to say, well, and then I'll come back. But think of it this way too. And I hate this. I just absolutely hate this. Like they say, the word action is in the law of attraction, as if English had a monopoly on all languages and thought of all time. It doesn't. It's not the same in Hebrew. It doesn't mean the same in India, in Hindi or Farsi. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. But I'm going to break it down in English for just a second. It's for giving.
Oh.
Is what makes you successful in business. Give yourself permission to be anything you are. Give yourself the permission to be free of all the things that you think are wrong about yourself, or wrong about the world, or wrong about it. Give yourself permission to give to yourself in ways that you might not otherwise ever do. Give to the friends and family around you, give to the world, and you will be far more successful in business, because what it's all about is giving and going that extra mile and doing things that are beyond what we would normally do, or where we would normally stop, or as Sorrel said, the default part of our life, where we fall into accepting whatever we don't want, instead of saying, you know what, I can create what I do want. And that's all within the scope of being right where I'm at.
Okay, I got it. So I'm kind of traveling in the conversation in the context of clarification, not in the context of getting attached to anything. So what I'm hearing in what you're saying is, my access to success is to live a life for giving, not forgiving, not forgiving, not forgiving.
It's both. It's whatever you want it to be. But here's the thing.
Well, the reason why I'm not settling on whatever I want it to be
because but what I'm trying to say is, don't get hung up on a word.
Well, I'm not getting hung up on the word.
I'm just saying, people, it's not the word.
Rex, let me get what I want to say out. I want to see your world. I don't want to see my world. I want to see what you are pointing to. That's what I'm getting clarification for, not for me to not see what
Right.
you're saying. Yeah,
And
that's what
Gio,
I'm saying.
hang on one second. I'm going to say something, and then I'm going to open it up for other questions. And what I'm saying is in the context of making a rough summary that may point to something, but it may not. So the success formula laid bare looks like this. Whether I'm in business or in life, I could be coming from a context where wherever I am, I'm there for a specific purpose, and that purpose is for giving. That's one. That's part of the success formula. The second aspect of the success formula is the giving starts with me in succeeding. And to forgive in that context is to actually put to the side everything that I would say is wrong about me, everything that I would say is wrong about my business. In other words, to forgive myself and forgive my business. And in that instance, I get to see something else possible other than clinging to what I was doing, to what I wanted. That's not being successful.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I want to add to that because it's forgiving self, it's forgiving others. I want to tell a brief thing that will put it back in the context of business. Henry Ford, for example, was a pioneer in the auto industry, came from nothing, had nothing, and was very, broke. Not everybody likes him for a variety of reasons, and those may be justified. But I quote him a few times, and I want to make the quotes here. He said, if I think I can, or I think I can't, or if you think you can, or you think you can't, you're correct. Meaning, whatever you decide, you've made a decision. I can do this, or I can't do this. It's your decision. He also said something that's really, truly important. I think I've said it here on the show before, and that is, I never let what I cannot do prevent me from doing what I can. But a lot of people do. They let what they can't do, or what they don't do, or what they don't know, or what they haven't access to prevent them from moving forward. He said, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're correct. So whatever stops a person will stop a person. And he said, I don't let it stop me. Now, in the story of the development of the V8 engine, he went to his mechanics and said, I want this engine. They said, it's impossible. He said, that's okay. I want it. I'm going to have it. Go ahead. I'll give you a year. Came back after a year. They said, it's not going to happen. He said, okay, I want it. Go, I'll give you another year. And I'll have it. And they took another year and they came back and said, no. He said, all right, one more time, go do it and get it to, and they came back and went, hey, guess what? It works. His point was, if I want it, I am going to have it. He didn't let his lack of education, his poverty, his ignorance, any of his past hold him back from determining the kind of life and the kind of thing he wanted to do. He wanted to put everybody in a car on this, in this country or around the world, so he didn't let anything stop him. So when even the experts came to him and said, there's no way in hell this is ever going to be done, he said, I want it, so I'm going to have it. We'll figure out a way. If they had stopped with that, they would never get anywhere. And what most of us do is we stop. We stop with our past, with our hurts, with our injuries. We stop with the world around us. It's unfair. There's competition. The market is too crowded, or the competition is too fierce, or I don't have the skills or the know-how or the capital in order to do anything. We have to be able to let those things go, give ourselves a break from those, release it, let go of it, stop perpetuating the myths, the lies, the illusions that we so often live from. And those are part of our conditioning. So as Buddha said, be born again each and every day. Forgive yourself for any of your limitations. Don't hold a grudge against yourself. Forgive others for any perceived limitations or injuries, and don't hold grudges against them either. One of the statements I hate more than anything else is, well, I forgive you, but I won't forget. Well,
Rex,
that's forgiveness.
Rex, forgive me for interrupting.
No.
I wanted to get Ron's view before we wrap up, because this is so juicy, and it's Daily Huddle is too short.
Absolutely.
Ron.
Yeah, it's definitely juicy. It's definitely juicy. So what I'm really getting out of what Rex is saying is the fact that you have to develop the muscle of practicing something that is uncomfortable, that makes you uncomfortable. And I think throughout what I've gone through the past couple of months, I think I've put myself in an uncomfortable situation. And I think the practice of being uncomfortable, it's almost like working out and, you know, shedding pounds away. And it's like, if you want to lose weight, you got to keep working out until you lose weight. So that's what I'm really getting now, despite the fact that you are, or individually, your natural attribute, your behavioral attribute put you in a box, because there is culture, there is, naysayers, there is, all that really that holds you back. But the whole idea is being able to step beyond that box and say, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm doing this because I'm giving myself permission to do it, and no one else, if not me, who's going to do it. And that's really what I'm getting. And that's a great feeling. That's a great feeling. When you step out of the box, man, the world is amazing. That's all I really got. And I got it.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, Ronald. Rex, hang on 1 second. Gio, I want to make sure that the conversation between you and Rex is actually complete. So it's only 32 after. Do you want to say something before Rex gives us his last word?
Oh, Sorrel, thank you for your sensitivity to the conversation. I'm very complete. I like the dance, Sorrel. I was just kind of looking at Rex's worldview. I'm passionate about seeing people's point of view.
Yeah.
I'm complete, Sorrel. Thank you.
Perfect. Well, I am complete, and so delighted that you're here. And I know Rashida wouldn't be complete if she said what she wants to, if she didn't say what she wants to say. So Rashida, go ahead and speak.
Good morning. Good morning. Very important topic, and it's funny because before I started the Daily Huddle this morning, one of my siblings called me and was complaining. I said, "Listen to me. I let go of that story already. How did you came up with it today?" And this is when Rex started the conversation. I started the presentation this morning. I said, "Yes, he hit it right on the nail. I let go. Trust me, how people act, how you let go, take deep breath and let it go, move on." And this is something that I take away from the lesson this morning. Thank you so much, Rex. Thank you for confirmation. I am so happy. I am letting go and let God and let the universe take care of everything else. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate this presentation so much.
Thank you, Rashida. Thank you. Rex, Giovanni's right. There's never enough time to actually have this conversation. And I'm so grateful that you keep coming back, and we will keep asking you back. So what are the final words for today?
Okay. So a couple of things. Next time I come back, let's talk about the success formula from the book. But the concept that I want to share is, for me, to any one of us to move from where we're sitting or standing right now, we have to get up and go somewhere else, right? If you want to go, you're going to go to the Greek Isles. You have to give up going where you are right now. You have to be able to be willing to let go of where you were so that you travel in a new direction. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
So the first step of success is letting go of all the things that got you to where you were that you consider a deficit, that you consider something that holds you back, that considers something that you prevent. Even your talents and abilities, you can let everything go and just say, "I'm so grateful that I've lived my life and all this stuff, and I forgive myself and I accept myself," and have that kind of awareness and acceptance. Now, in my book, all these people, around will talk about the limiting beliefs and how to do. I have very simple formulas, very practical steps, and tiny little things that you can do to change your beliefs and change what you're doing and add more joy and more happiness into your own life. Because when you're happier, when you feel healthier, when you feel greater well-being and are more optimistic, you not only as a person in your personal relationships do better, and you feel healthier, but you can do the same in your business relationships. It's all interconnected at some level, and yet we tend to compartmentalize, but we're living a life. And so what you want to do is bring the best of you, the best of your thoughts, your words, your actions, your feelings, your spirit to your business, as well as to everything you do. And when you do that, the world for you will transform.
Thank you, Rex. Thank you. And thank you, everyone. We'll leave you today with the same tenets we always leave you with. And I'm asking you today to hear them in the context of the success formula laid bare. Perhaps the success formula has 7 words in it. And it is to love, to laugh out loud, to stress less, to eat in a way that feeds your body and keeps you alive and energetic, to give, and maybe indeed life is for giving, to sleep, rest, to move your body and to check your assumptions. You know, what you know about you may be all wrong. And what you know about life, what you know about others may be all wrong. So check your assumptions. That's our show for today. We're here every morning, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. You could say ish. We love you. Gio loves you.
Bye-bye.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you
Thank
all.
Bye, Harumi.
Peace and
Take
blessings,
care.
family.
Bye
Peace and
now.
blessings.
One
Thank
love,
you.
guys. One love.
Grande,
Thank you,
grande.
Rex. Thank you.